Have you ever wished you could turn back time? What if you got your wish, but it came with a terrifying price? This is the story of David and the clock that ticked backward. David was a collector of oddities, a lover of things with a history. One rainy Tuesday, he stumbled into a dusty antique shop he'd never noticed before. Tucked away in a dark corner was a grandfather clock, its wood dark and ornate, its brass pendulum still. The shopkeeper, a man with eyes that seemed older than the shop itself, sold it to him for a song, almost as if he was desperate to be rid of it. That night, as the city slept, David was woken by a strange sound. It wasn't the usual tick-tock of a clock, but a talk-tick, ... Tuck-tick. He crept into his living room. The grandfather clock, silent all day, was alive. Its hands were moving, but backward, and it was exactly midnight. He watched, mesmerized, as the minute hand completed a full circle, counterclockwise. Then, as suddenly as it started, it stopped. The clock was still again. The next morning, David felt a strange emptiness. He couldn't remember what he had for dinner the night before. A small detail, easily dismissed. But the following night it happened again. Talk-tick, another minute of his life erased. He tried to remember his first date with his ex-girlfriend, but the memory was a blur, a faded photograph with no details. Panic began to set in. David tried to stop the clock. He took out the pendulum, but the hands kept moving backward at midnight. He tried to smash the clock face, but the glass wouldn't even scratch. It was as if the clock existed outside the normal laws of physics. Each night, it stole a piece of him. First, it was small memories, then bigger ones. The memory of his college graduation gone, sound of his mother's laughter, vanished. He started writing things down, desperate to hold on to his life. He wrote down his name, his birthday, the names of his friends and family. But one morning he woke up and looked at the paper. The words "My name is David" meant nothing to him. He was a stranger in his own home, surrounded by objects that held no meaning. His friends stopped calling because he no longer remembered them. His boss fired him for missing work he couldn't recall scheduling. His world was shrinking, his past unraveling, one tick at a time. He became a ghost in his own life, a collection of forgotten moments. One night he stood before the clock, a hollow shell of a man. The hands began to move backward, talk-tick. This time, it wasn't just a memory that was erased. It was the memory of buying the clock itself. The next tick erased the memory of his love for antiques. With each backward tick, a fundamental piece of his identity was stripped away. He watched the hands go round and round, feeling himself dissolve. The memory of his childhood home, his first word, his own birth. The final tick echoed in the empty room. And then silence. The next morning, the sun streamed into an apartment that had been vacant for years. The furniture was covered in a thick layer of dust. In the corner stood an old grandfather clock, its pendulum still, its face blank. It was as if David had never existed at all. So no one missed him because there was no one left to remember. He was a story without a beginning, an echo in a void, life completely and utterly erased. So, be careful what you wish for. Some doors, once opened, can never be closed. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tales from the shadows. See you next time.